I request everyone to kindly go over the instructions. Please send all your queries in the Q&A channel only. Rest assured, we'll be taking up each one of them towards the end of the session. Do not type irrelevant text or spam the chat box. Please do not record any portion of the session. We will be sending the recording on the classroom for you to go over at your convenience. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining in. I welcome you all to the orientation session of the Aerospace Society. Through this, we hope to give you an insight into what Aeross is truly about, what it has been, its activities, and how it has evolved over the years. We will also be explaining the entire induction process and taking up all your queries regarding the same. By the end of the session, we hope you are as eager to join us as we are to have you. I proudly present to you a video depicting the essence of Aeross. So, who are we? Formed in 2009, we are an active community of 60 plus students from across the grades 6 to 12, with diverse expertise and a variety of talents. We are united by a passion for aerospace, science, engineering, and just problem solving in general, with the desire to push past the limits of what seems possible, much like our motto. But above all, we are a family, one that supports and cares for each other, a family we want you to be a part of. Over the past decade, we have amassed a variety of myths. Many believe Aeross requires a lot of prerequisite knowledge, especially related to physics. However, it couldn't be further from the truth. Most of the skills involved can be learned along the way. We just require your eagerness to learn. While it may have been true in the past, from the last couple of years, we have shifted our focus from designing just space settlements to taking part in aviation and entrepreneurship-based projects. We are associated much too frequently with NASA and as the Space Club, with some believing we take people to the moon. But we regret to disappoint that while some of our projects have taken us to the USA, we are far from outer space ventures, at least as of yet.
Let's learn a bit about what Aeross is exactly. First of all, I know that we're called the Aerospace Society, but I'd suggest that you don't take the name too literally anymore. We at Aeross participate in a lot of STEM-related competitions and activities, and while some of them are aerospace and aviation based, the others are not related to the set fields at all. And the skills learned in these STEM competitions apply across all disciplines. Why should you join Aeross? Because of a couple of really cool reasons, actually. First of all, we have a robust alumni network that connects intellectuals from all over the world. Secondly, we participate in and win quite a few international competitions. So we provide you the opportunity to learn various technical skills and showcase them at the global level. We at Eros are a family and are always up for providing you the support and resources that you need so that we are able to create the environment for your optimal growth.
An amazing perk of a club is our alumni network. Our alumni have always been right by our side, advising and mentoring us in numerous competitions. Today, we have Harsh Adit Singh, who was a former president of Aeross and is currently studying at the University of Texas in Dallas. As a member, he led his team through the Asian and international rounds of the Space Settlement Design competition and has also been a finalist of the Conrad competition in 2017. Being a former member, I believe he would be the best at explaining how exciting our work at the club really is. So over to you, Harsh, take it away.
Sound check. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for that introduction, and it's really great to like see the turnout at these inductions. We have over, I believe, 200 people, and I've seen people like from 6th till 12th grade. So I think that's really good, and that's definitely like been a change since I was at Aeross. So yeah, I'll just like start off by like introducing myself, and I'll talk about my experiences during my time at Aeross, and hopefully inspire you to make you like want to like join this club. So I'm Harsh. I'm currently a senior studying mechanical engineering and computer science at the University of Texas at Dallas. I am in Dallas right now, so I'm happy that this is like all like done virtually, so I was able to join. I was in Aeross a while ago now. At this point, I was president in 2017, which is 5 years ago. It seems crazy because I mean I remember like my time a little too well, but it has been 5 years. And 8 years ago in 2014, I was like all of you are right now. I was sitting in the orientation that was at that time held in the APH, and I was just like listening to what the then members had to say about the club, and that like really like inspired me to like want to join and like be a part of everything that Aeross was doing. And I was inducted into the club in 2015, and so I was inducted into the club in 2015, and I remember like showing up for the inductions in 9th grade specifically because I wanted to like bunk my history lecture. I mean, I literally had like no other reason, but I showed up to the induction and I saw what Aeross was and saw what Aeross did, and that again like really inspired me to be a part of what the club does. I mean, those were like different times. Dr. Sani was the principal, so you could like skip class without like getting into trouble. I don't think that's true anymore, but yeah, it was at the time. So again, like my time in Aeross like really like started in 10th grade. At that time, we weren't like as diverse from a competition standpoint. We only like really like focused on these like 2 or 3 competitions, primarily the Space Settlement Design Challenge, which was conducted by something known as the Foundation Society, which was just like a bunch of like ex-Boeing and NASA engineers. And also the Conrad Spirit of Innovation Challenge, which was conducted by Nancy Conrad, who's the wife of late American astronaut Pete Conrad, who I also believe was the 3rd man on the moon. So yeah, 10th grade, is when I started like taking an active part in these competitions, and the experiences that I gained really, I mean, they taught me lessons that I use to this like very day. I mean, since my time at Aeross, I've been a mechanical engineering intern at Alstom, and I've helped like design I've been a part of the team that designed America's like first like bullet train last summer. And even then, I mean, the lessons that I like learned in Aeross as a member, as president, as an engineer, I mean, they've stuck by me, and they will like for a really really long time. Because I mean, when you're in Aeross, you not only like get to like work on projects that are like really cool, you also like get to like work and interact with people like from all over the world. I mean, during my time at Aeross, I had the chance to interact with not only like engineers from NASA, Boeing, and SpaceX, and work with some of these engineers at places like the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. I also like got to like interact with like students like just like myself, but like from different like corners of the world, right? I mean, we had like students from America, China, Pakistan, Uruguay, England. I mean, you name the country, and we had it at these international competitions, be it the Conrad Challenge, be it NASA Ames, be it the SSDC. And I'm sure that's true for like other competitions as well, like the Real World Design Challenge and whatnot. So that like really like broadens your perspective, these interactions. You when you go to these competitions, you I mean you do the work and you make mistakes and you like learn from those mistakes. And it's a really like it's a really like iterative process in which at every single step where you do something and you fail, you learn like something new, and then you do something else and you fail again and you like learn something new again. And so by the time you're like ready to like graduate from school, I mean, I know that like some of you are like still in 6th grade, so you have like a while before that happens, but it will like happen one day, right? So like by the time you're like ready to graduate and like enter college, essentially, you'll realize that you're in a much like better place compared to many other students that did not like have these same experiences that you did because of Aeross. So I mean, it's a great club. I'm really happy to see the direction that the club has taken since I was less part of it. I mean, we seem to like have like a great like set of current members who know what they're doing, who are passionate about what the club does, who are passionate about the club's mission, who respect the club's history. And I mean, these guys they've been around, they've been a part of these competitions, and if you join us, um, you will be able to like work alongside all of these people. You will be connected to the alumni network, and we have an extensive alumni network. Like, let me tell you that. Like, we have people at places like Stanford, MIT, I mean, Harvard. Like, you name the college, you name the company, Tesla, Boeing. We have like someone like working there or studying there who was once a part of this club. And by joining, you become part of this like family that's like spread all over the world. So I mean, yeah, that's a little bit about myself. That's a little bit about my experiences, and I mean, I wish you guys the best for the inductions. I'm sure that you guys will like do very well, and I hope that you guys like continue to be a part of it. I mean, for as long as you are in school. I mean, one of my biggest regrets is that when I was a student, Aeross didn't hire any. I mean, Aeross didn't like recruit like anyone like below like 10th grade, 9th grade. And it's really good to like see that. I mean, we have like 6th like trying out. So all the best. If you guys have any questions, feel free to like reach out to any of the current members about the induction process. And if you have any questions about the club or like my experiences in general, feel free to, I mean, yeah, just like use the chat to like ask me. But yeah, thank you so much for having invited me. I see that Ajay sir is here as well. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know.
Hello, Harsh.
Hello, Ajay sir. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, sir. It's good to see you. Be it
Nice,
virtually.
nice listening to you.
Thank you, sir.
It was amazing to hear about your experiences, Ash. Thank you for being here with us today. So now we move on. So as we mentioned earlier, our members have participated and won many competitions. Now we will be taking you through the competitions we try out and our most recent achievements.
Starting off with the National Space Society Space Settlement Contest. This competition requires technical skills, creativity, and innovation. It is based on the fundamental idea of designing a space settlement. It is a flexible competition with categories varying from grade 7 and younger to grade 12, each having an individual, small team, and a large team category. The winners get a chance to attend the prestigious International Space Development Conference. These are some of our past winners. Team Anastasi won the grand prize in 2017 for their underwater settlement as an analog of space. and Kaises won the first prize in the Grade 12 large team category. They researched on the Venusian surface and atmosphere to manufacture and send research vehicles. Paramount based their settlement and carried out research on plants and humans in varying gravity levels, whereas Team Swastika based their project on creating a space settlement on the Kuiper Belt, which was further used for mining and research purposes.
Aeross has participated in the Space Settlement Design Challenge since 2010. It is an aerospace industry simulation competition. It comprises of 3 rounds: the Indian round, the Asian regional round, and finally, the international round at the NASA Kennedy Space Center, Florida. A 60-plus member company is formed with other schools from all over the world, which works towards fulfilling the requirements of the customer, that is, the judges. For the last decade, and including this year, we have secured positions in every round of this competition, some of which have been shown in the slide.
RWDC, or the Real World Design Challenge, is one of our most prestigious and work-intensive competitions. It's organized once a year, and competition work usually starts in September or October. It is a team-based competition. The purpose of the competition is to design a UAS, or unmanned aerial system, in which you have to design a drone and all the systems that work along with it. So the concept of operations, business case, and so on have to be included with the drone itself. The organizers release an RFP, or request for proposal, every year with different requirements for the UAS, which your proposal is required to meet. It is divided into 2 rounds, national and international. The national submission is in early January, and the international submission is in early April. There is also a pitch round after the international round, where you have to make a presentation of your proposal in front of a panel of judges. The last 2 years were virtual, but before that, participants did get to go to Washington, D.C. to compete as well. So that's pretty cool. One important thing to note about this competition is that it's highly practical and design oriented and is very focused on solving real world problems. So yeah, impractical designs just for the sake of creativity are not encouraged. And here are a few submissions that Aeross has made previously to RWDC. These are some of our older submissions. So Samaritan was the first Indian team to win the international round in this competition, and Astronautics came second internationally. Then there were this year's submissions as well. Team Induslof Dynamics won the international championship, so that makes it the second Aeross team to do so. And Asteria Origin was the other team competing last year, and they made it to the international round as well.
A major part of Aeross activity consists of competition, many related to aerospace and aviation, like we already mentioned. But it is important to note that competitions at Aeross go beyond just aerospace and aviation. We take part in many diverse fields, such as science, research, business. Some prominent ones are TechFest by IIT Bombay, Regeneron ISEF, CERN Beamline, and many more. Over the years, the members of the club have had the opportunity to meet many of our country's prominent and honorable dignitaries. For example, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Vice President Shri Venkaiah Naidu, External Affairs Minister Shri S. J. Shankar. The Diamond Challenge. The Diamond Challenge is a competition that we recently took up at Aeross, and it does a great job of explaining how competition at Aeross go beyond just aerospace and aviation. It is a business and entrepreneurial competition. It has many great benefits. Not only does it have amazing prizes, but the feedback and improvements provided along the way help you improve. It comprises of 3 rounds of both documentation and video making. I'd now like to introduce our second Aeross alumni. Our second guest speaker for the evening is Om Gupta. Om Gupta is currently studying his bachelor's degree at Purdue University. Through his year at Aeross, he took part in many prominent competitions, such as Space Settlement Design Competition, Real World Design Challenge, Conrad, and many more. He has also received Paramount Awards from prominent organizations, such as NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Om, we would now like for you to address the gathering.
Hello. So it seems like Om is running a bit late right now. So in his place, I'm Ahan. I was the president last year at Aeross and an alumni now, of course. So I will be speaking in his place. So I have been a member of Aeross for the past 4 years, and I can pretty much give you a view about Aeross from the outside standard as I was there as well. Like all through my years in the school from 6th to 12th, I just used to hear so much about Aeross, like Aeross is doing this, Aeross is doing that, and then there are people on the website, and I was like, okay, they are great people, they know a lot of stuff. I can not just enter the club and do all those things, great things, come on the website, meet the Prime Minister, man. That's like huge. But from what I can tell you, once I did enter the club back when I was in ninth, it's just the club is so welcoming. It's like all the people you meet there, they're diverse people. Some person is doing aviation, some person is doing space settlements, some person is making a lunar toilet. Yes, that's the thing apparently. And they just all accept you, the competitions, the events, and you just somehow fit right in. Now I cannot tell you how that happens, but they just somehow fit in. And I won't say that you ever face an issue when you actually come into the club at the end of it. And through my now about a bit about my personal journey in Eros. Forgive me if I stammer a bit here or there because like it's pretty impromptu my speech right now. So please forgive me for that. I think my journey in Eros started from when I was doing SSEC. That was a Space Settlement Design Challenge, which you might have heard about a bit before. And I think being it my first competition, I was like totally nervous. Like, okay, what if I do something wrong? What if I mess up? What will I do about it, man? What if my seniors are like, what are you doing? But it was nothing like that. Like all my team, the other team, Red Origin, which you might have seen about before, they all just made it so fun, made it so inspiring, made it so learning. Like I learned about how you work in a team of 60 plus people, and it's just so difficult to remember their names. And I learned about how you effectively collaborate with so many people you've met like a night before, and I'm like, okay, I don't know you, but I have to work with you. And then you have to deal with all these issues, which of course comes with when you work with 60 people of different mindsets. Or will stir up a lot of drama. Let me tell you that. A lot of us can attest to that. And then I went on to do this other competition called the Conrad Challenge. And that competition, I would say, is one which truly revolutionized my journey at Eros. It made me gain a lot more confidence as an Eros member. It really boosted my self-esteem, truly taught me how you understand your team, lead a team. And I think that's when I truly fit into Eros as a piece of it. So yeah, I would say that it does take a little bit of time for you to adjust to everything because it's just such an amazing place and something so different from your normal school life or your friend groups. I'm sure you all have those. And but you eventually do. And when you do fit in there, it's just so amazing. Like even right now, they go, I have my JE in like a few weeks, but I'm sitting here giving the orientation because it also just is one play that I'm so passionate about and so it is so fun to be here that I'm sure you will all have fun if you do enter the club this year. After and recently, I was made the president of the club. Trust me, I did not expect I would be. But okay, thank you people for that. And we went and made this event, Celesticon, something which I've been hearing about people trying to make from when I was in ninth, even before actually. We have always been trying. And we finally brought this to fruition this year with like months of work, sponsors, late nights, early mornings, all-nighters. And for it to finally come together with like 800 plus registrations and such a grand event, I think all of our alumni and members finally felt proud. I personally felt proud to be there. Like it is such an amazing experience to just be with the club with all the different team members and just working together. And when you finally get that result, it's just really amazing. Like I cannot even tell you. Like you have to really be there to really see how it actually feels. Now, as you can see, I'm a bit too passionate about the club. I'm a bit too fanatic about it, maybe also, but bear with me. Uh, I think in the past few years, all the changes, the developments, the evolutions, the changing body of students, atmospheres, everything, Eros is like really doing amazing right now. It's like heading towards this amazing place. Like it is much better when I came in the club back in ninth. It is really going great places this year. It's like all the previous presidents, like we had this, like Aditya Sen Gupta, Harsh Aditya, as you right now saw him, Vinamra, Kushagra. There are like so many amazing people who have always been trying to just get the club ahead and ahead and ahead. And we've always been preparing for the ultimate moment where we will finally be the club that we envisioned to be for all these years. And I think this year, with all these new people, the new batch of post holders we have, I think Aeross is finally ready to take launch this year. It's like, this is, I would say, what is our year this year. We are ready to go out there, dominate this entire field, the competitions, the event even. I'm possibly become the best club in the school. Yes, we're gonna be doing that challenge this year. It's, I would just say this is Aeross's year. And for us, as we have said in our slogan, the sky is not the limit for us. We're gonna really ace past everything we have. And I would personally give anything to be here doing that, but I cannot since I'm the alumni. But and I'm really jealous of you guys here right now in the orientation who are going to be trying for the club. But I would really say that do come in the club, do try. I can understand it will be rigorous. It might be tiring. It might be time taking. But when you do enter the club, you have this feeling of pride that you came in from a pool of thousands of registrations and you came in this final small group of people who actually did it. It feels amazing. And I would just say that take this seriously, rise, do your best, shine, and come in the club. And all of us members, alumni, will be waiting for you at the other side because as NASA's famous quote went, and how I think what Aeross will be doing this year, they had this famous quote last year called "We are going," and we hope that you join us for the journey here at Astra. And also, I would like this other person to speak here as well. His name is Ashwin Verma. He has been a member for much longer than I have. He has been doing a bunch of competition. Like every single competition I know at the club, I think he's probably done it. And he's been this guiding light for not in the club, but he's my personal idol in the club. So I would like for him to lead after me. Ashwin, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ahan. That was an amazing speech. And Ahan is one of my closest friends in Aeross, and Harsh is one of the people I really looked up to, and he was really a mentor to me when I was coming up in Aeross. So, your addresses have addressed um, much of what needed to be said today. I'll just focus on a couple of things. So, you're going to learn a lot about Aeross today, from its competitions to the activities we hold, including our national aerospace event and inductions. But what I want to talk about is not only what Aeross is, but what Aeross feels like. So what I want, like the culture of Aeross inside the club, as it has evolved to become. Aeross, we're really just a passionate group of friends who work on very unique and interesting ideas together. And we learn a lot. And you can really expand your horizons while in Aeross. Not just in aerospace, but across engineering fields and sometimes more. There are opportunities in structural, mechanical engineering, energy solutions, communications and embedded systems, and more. I myself have participated in space settlement competitions, worked on a project to optimize cooling towers for thermal power plants, and worked in aviation competitions and also embedded system competitions like electronics and all. So and communication. So I've really learned a lot. I've explored a lot of what's available in STEM, and you can probably explore things other than STEM, such as the psychological effects of space flight and other things. Like Eros has a place for you no matter who you are, what your interests are, as long as you're passionate enough to be in the club and have an affinity for aerospace or aviation. More than anything else, as cliche as it is, Eros does support you like a family, to pursue your interest, to be there for you in difficult times, and also to be with you during the most fun times. If you choose to join us, you will have a place in Eros. And there are fights, there are conflicts, but we always recover from it stronger than we were before. And that is really what I think Eros is about. And yeah, I'm really, like Ahan said, I've been in the club for the past 6 years. I've been in the club since class 7. No one has ever been in the club this long. And I really saw the club's transition from only doing space settlement competitions, doing so much more. And also, I've seen the club culture like really evolve from just being a club which organizes a few activities and participates in a few competitions to hosting and working on real projects like a CubeSat initiative, like the High Altitude Balloon Initiative, and many others, and actually work on and expand into aviation. And I've really seen the culture of the club change, the induction change, everything in the club change. And I feel we've really changed for the better. Like Ahan said, I believe we're ready to take flight. And I believe that once we take flight, not only the sky, the solar system won't be the limit for us. And yeah, it's a really exciting time to be here. And yeah, I would really recommend you to try as hard as you can inductions. And if you get into the club, make most of the opportunities and also remember to have a lot of fun because there are a lot of interesting things to do, a lot of fun to have. And that is all I think I would like to say. Thank you so much, Ahan, and thank you so much for Harsh to come in. Yeah.
I also have
Hi everyone. Yeah.
Don't worry.
So
We're
yeah, hello
happy to have
everyone
you here.
attending. I'm Om. I used to be at Aeross, well, I guess about 2 years now, 2 years ago now. I actually joined in 2018. So I joined, the way I initially discovered this club was I did I participated in Conrad in 2017 too. We didn't win that year, but we just formed like that experience of going to like a design competition, actually getting to see how projects like these actually work. That's what initially like inspired me to join Aeross. And over the like next couple of years, I did several competitions, as you can probably see on that slide. I went to Conrad again next year. My team actually ended up winning. I went to INSSDC and ARSSDC. I wasn't able to go to the finals for that competition just because of some bad timing around the exams and everything. But I also went to RWDC, which is another interesting competition because like the things we learned. So RWDC is basically a competition that focuses around designing a drone delivery system. And I'm actually working right now at a company called Zipline that does almost exactly the kind of stuff that we worked on in that competition. So I thought that was super cool. So as you can probably tell, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I joined late, so I'm not sure what the other panelists had to say so far. But as regards with my experience with Aeross and what I have seen, like in my participation here, is that Aeross, like participating in Aeross is not just like good for your professional development, as like I'm sure a lot of you would a lot of you are here from the perspective of wanting to get into some extracurriculars so that you can have a more well-rounded academic record if you're, for example, like applying abroad or something like that. But I would say that, of course, it is very good for that. But in addition to that, it's been absolutely amazing for just my personal development. Like I realize now in retrospect that having to work with, for example, like in Conrad, you have to work with a team of like 3 to 4 other students over an extended period of time, which is a sort of thing that having to work in a professional capacity really like prepares you and sets you up for actually like both trying to get actually into like the professional field, and also just teaching you how to do teamwork and networking in a way that and nothing else at school level really can. It's like an actually like transformative experience for a lot of people. And same goes for something like RWDC, where like it's a larger team, sure, but just the fact that you have to get together with say like a large team of people and like just work towards a specific goal, even if the specific technical things you aren't working on aren't that relevant to whatever you're doing in the end. It's really really important, I feel, to actually get to do all this stuff at the high school level at least. So yeah, I would say that if you're looking to join Aeross from like an academic enhancement perspective, that's definitely something to do. But even if you're not looking to specifically go into, for example, like aerospace or engineering, even then, it's something that's incredibly useful to a lot of people. And yeah, I don't want to take up too much time. So if you all have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll probably stick around after the end of the meeting, but yeah, thank you for inviting me, and I'll be around for questions.
Boom. Say hi to Keller at Zipline for me.
Wait, you know Keller?
Yeah, I've met him. I met him at Stanford twice.
Oh damn. I'll mention.
I was also like supposed to like join in as a mechanical engineering intern this summer, but I had like other commitments. So.
Oh, that sucks. That
No, but
really
like it's really cool. Like what you guys at Zipline are doing. They've essentially like revolutionized the healthcare industry in Africa, Ghana, Rwanda, and yep, Ghana and Rwanda. But yeah, it's really cool what you guys are doing.
I will say hi to him for you.
Thank you so much, Om.
At Aeross, not only do we participate in numerous STEM contests, we've also started hosting our own event. Last year, we held our first ever annual aerospace conference called Celesticon, which featured 10 plus events and a set of workshops. The events included contests such as UAV design, space settlement design, CAD, quiz, surprise, and so on. We received over 800 registrations from across the nation, and prizes worth 1.5 lakhs were given to the participants and winners. This year, we plan to step it up even further. Organizing events is surprisingly different than participating in them. Hosting an event lets one explore the management side of things. The effort that goes into the ideation, creation, and realization of such an event, when coupled with the positive feedback received afterwards, is just immensely rewarding. We tried our best to make the events as interesting as possible, and participants really seemed to enjoy them. Last year, I, for one, had a wonderful and fruitful time organizing the events. I can say that I have learned a lot and had an experience that participation alone cannot just bring about. In the end, I would just like to say that unity is strength, and when there is teamwork and collaboration like Aeross, even the impossible becomes possible, such as our event, Celesticon.
As a club in future, Aeross aims to take part in many more diverse STEM competitions, such as the ones discussed earlier, organize aerospace and aviation-based symposiums, upscale Celesticon, and prepare juniors and new members for the future by laying down a strong foundation.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the surprise trivia section of this orientation. I'm Steve Harvey's sixth cousin, and we will test your knowledge. Feel free to try to answer these questions in the chat box below. And whoever gets the right answer gets a cookie point during the inductions. First question, which was the first ever commercial supersonic airline?
Cool. I see a lot of people have answered in the chat. Let's move on to the answer.
So the correct answer is the Concorde, as many of you will have guessed, at a blazing fast speed of Mach 2.04. Now, everyone knows who the first man on the moon was, but first man, second man, third man, it's all a cat race. What I want to know is if you guys know who the last man on the moon was. So the answer is Eugene Cernan, who was the last man on the moon in the Apollo 17 mission during December 1972. And finally, for the last question, who was meant to be the first man on the moon?
That seems to be a tough one because no one in the chat has yet guessed the answer.
So Manita, can we show the answer to the attendees?
I'm just waiting for at least one person to write the correct one. It's okay. We'll just move on.
So the first man on the moon was actually supposed to be Gus Grissom with the Apollo 1 mission before his tragic passing in 1967.
Aeross is more than just a group of aspiring engineers. Engineering is about much more than technical knowledge, and our projects require much more than scientific intuition. We strongly advise you to give Aeross a try, even if you lack technical skills. Many of our members have non-technical roles that are equally crucial to the performance of any of our projects.
Great. So now we'll be discussing the induction process. So Aeross has made it very clear that you do not require any prerequisite knowledge to come here. So we have two rounds in our inductions. Round one is an individual round. Here we have two categories, the junior and the senior categories. We'll be giving you 4 to 5 questions in the form of prompts, and we'll giving you a time of 2 days. We test your research and innovation, not your prior knowledge. Aeross also follows a clear no plagiarism policy. We do not tolerate any sort of plagiarism. Now here we have a sample prompt. You will be seeing such questions in the prompt sheet. You can go over this. Okay, so now on to round 2. So here there are teams of 6, and again 4 to 5 prompts are there to choose from. The submissions are followed by interviews where teams are questioned on different aspects of their designs. Experienced members are always assigned as mentors, and they guide you throughout the process. The plagiarism policy stays constant here. On to the deadlines, yes. So the prompts will be released tomorrow morning, that is 22nd May at 9 a.m. in the classrooms. And all entries will have to be submitted by 24th of May, 11:59 p.m. So we thank you all for being here and wish you all the very best in this round 1. Now we will be taking all the questions.